Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsyreplays. Welcome back to some Hold My Beer. Yes, the Hold My Beer. Some OP replays are back after a few days off, after a nice little breakaway with the wife and no kids. It was absolutely amazing and a much needed break. Unfortunately, though, the break here in the UK, we had a storm. And it was a very windy storm, 100-mile-an-hour winds. And this storm was the exact place where we were going. So where we were going, we put on a red alert. People were told not to go out. People were told not to travel. Unfortunately, obviously, the place that we were going, the beach, the seaside that we were going was this place. But, you know, we went along anyway, and it was very windy, but we had a great time. It was a much needed break. So now I'm back working, and I'm back making these videos, these OP replays, and we've got two fantastic replays. One of them is the Tiger, and one is the M46 Patton. So first up, Tiger 2, we're watching Spotty SXX, Spotty XXY. And obviously the Tiger 2 is a fantastic tank when you know how to play it, when you know how to angle it. It is a fantastic tank that's just been buffed and keeps on getting buffed. And he's having a great game. I mean, he's already blocked 1200 damage with the position he's getting in. He's already blocked 1200 damage. Of course, the challenger now is like, he tried getting behind. He's not really going to do anything. And of course, the IS-6 is causing a bit of problem there as well. So he's only lost a little bit of hit points now. Is he going to go for the IS-6, or is he going to go to the left side towards the Persian? Now, he's going to go pretty much in between. So he's got shots on the IS-6 and he's got shots on the Persian. But he knows that one of his teammates is around there dealing with the Persian, so he ignores the Persian to go for the IS-6. Good choice. Actually, that was a really good choice, and the J Panther does actually deal with that Persian. So now it is a 4 versus 5. They're losing on supremacy points, so they do need to start clearing up some of these tanks. That was a nice fire there into that IS-6, and he is bleeding, he's burning, and he falls. He goes back to the garage. So there is still a lot of work to be done. 3,100 damage so far, and he's already blocked 1,600 damage. Now, you can get that block damage. Now, even though the armor profile on the Tiger is super strong, if people start switching to the premium ammo, then they can actually deal with the Tiger nice and easy, to be honest. But when you start angling, it is a lot harder to penetrate the Tiger. So he's now going for these, he's trying to help his T-32. Of course, he gets that nice shot there into the WZ-110. So he's now going to be the next target. He's the lowest hit points. The tank up there, T-49, he's not in any sort of, he's not causing too much danger for now, but he needs to go for the lower hit point tanks. Now, I probably wouldn't have gone for the VK there, because he is pretty much, he's got a lot of hit points, and there was other tanks around that are low hit points, but he's ignoring the WZ now and going for the VK. Maybe he thinks he's the dangerous target, I don't know, but he has now whittled him down to a 1-shot. So there's now 2 1-shots, but it is a 2 versus 3, so there's still a lot of work to do. And now he's going to ignore that. I mean, I'm not quite sure what he's doing here in ignoring the 2 1-shots. But luckily, he did kind of bait the WZ-110 in coming out. And he does get that shot into him. And it now just leaves these 2 guys, the T-32 and him, against the T-49. So the T-49, if he was just to aim, get around, he can shoot this guy and kill him with a 1-shot. But so far, 6.4k damage. He's done a fantastic job, but he needs one more shot, one more high roll into this guy to clear him. Unfortunately, it was a low roll, but the T-49 is now running away. Look at all their modules damage, and he does clear him for his 3rd kill. So overall, fantastic game. 2,000 block damage and over 6,000 damage. 6,000, just wait for it, 6,888 damage with 2,000 blocked. Now, I'm not really a lover of this new interface. the battle results. I mean, it's nice, it is nice, but because we're used to the old interface for so long, it does take quite a bit of getting used to. But what I do like about it is the fact that it also now does show the damage block, how much you damage, how much you've blocked. Normally, if you want to see how much you've blocked, you've got to go back into the replay, go fast forward it till the end to see how much you've blocked. So at least now it does stay on the battle screen and how much you've blocked. So that's a positive. I mean, I'm sure we will get used to this. We will get used to this, and it is nice looking, but it just takes a bit of getting used to. But well played, Spotty. Well played indeed, a very good battle. Next up we have Lude Yep You from the Vale clan in the EU server, and he's driving the M46 Patton. Now the M46 Patton is not a tank we see regularly, and it's not a tank that we see in the battlefield regularly, let alone replays, but Lude is going to have a fantastic game. Now this tank is not the best of tanks, I do admit. It's completely different to the M48 Patton. That's just amazing. It's got an amazing turret, got great gun depression, and it's now got good DPM. This has good DPM, good speed, good gun depression, but it just doesn't have that armor profile. It doesn't have the turret that the M48 Patton has got. So even when you hold down, you can't really block too much damage in this tank. But when you're up against tier 8s, of course it is a much better tank. It does kind of struggle in tier 10 when you're up against the tier 10s, but luckily for him there's only 2 tier 9s and the rest are tier 8, and he is a fantastic player. So no matter how bad the tank is, when you're a good player like this, you'll always make a tank like this work, and you always make a tank like this look good, even when it's not that fantastic. I love his patience here. People seem not to do this that often, you know, being patient like that. There was a couple of tanks spotted to the right, but he wasn't making his move because there's 7 tanks on the enemy team. If just because 1 or 2 spotted, it doesn't mean that they're all there, or it doesn't mean that they're all over the other side. You have to be patient, because there's been so many times where you think that there's only 1 or 2 tanks here, so you start making a push, then all of a sudden you open up 5 other tanks that are all in front of you, and by then you've already committed and you're just gonna have to keep going. So I love his patience there. He was waiting. Even though there was a couple of tanks spotted, he didn't push until he knew he could push forward. And now, obviously, he knows that he can't push forward because there are a lot of tanks around. And he's just biding his time. He's in no rush. Even though there's 2 tanks down, he's in no rush to push whatsoever. And now there is a Tiger 2 spotted on the other side of the map. At least that is 1 tank that he doesn't really have to worry about if he wanted to push to the right side. And now you can see there's another tank, and now he can start thinking, okay, 2 heavies are over there, maybe now is the time to make my move. So far 3 tanks down for his team, 1 tank down for the enemy team. They've got a lot of work to do. Is he going to now push the left side, or is he going to push the right side? Because now we know pretty much where all of the tanks are. So he's going to start pushing towards the right side. Of course, there is the TVP. There's the IS-3 Defender. He needs to clear one of these. And we know that the Yag Tiger is around here as well. And you need to be careful of the Yag Tiger because of its DPM. But he does have the Samoa supporting him here. So whilst the Samoa is there, he's taking the attention of pretty much all 3 of these guys. Yes, he's losing his hit points, but because of that, Lude has just managed to farm a little bit of damage, get these guys down quite low whilst they're not looking at him. And there goes the Samoa. So now he is on his own over here by himself. No one to protect him. And this is why he's going to make that move around. He wants to hide from the TVP there and clear this guy. Because at the moment, this guy is the most dangerous target. And he can just farm him without any support. No support for that Yag Tiger, because the TVP decided to go and help with these other heavies deal with that 50 TP. So now he finds himself on his own against 4 tanks. We still have the Defender, we still have the Yo, the 252U, the TVP, and the Tiger 2. And when you've sort of half hit points, and there is still full hit point Yo over there, and a full hit point object, or pretty much full hit points object 252U, and half hit point Tiger 2, this is not going to be easy. Now, these guys are starting to push. He needs to decide what he wants to do, because if he stays here, it's not going to end well for him. So he's just going to wait for the 252 252 to come around and then decide to make his move. Now the Tiger should stay there. He should be staying there. But no, he decides to move away. And because of that, Lude just manages to get out of there without getting shot at all. So there are a couple of low hit point tanks. Of course, you still got the Yo there causing problems. That is going to cause problems because of the amount of hit points he's got. The TVP is still there. And of course, the Tiger 2 is still there. Now, with 4 tanks left alive, with as many hit points as they've got, it's not looking great for our guy Lude. He's still on 4.6k damage, however, though. So he's still done fantastic. But the time is running out. Of course, the TVP comes forward. The Tiger is a one shot. He clears him, but here comes the Yo. That's one shot. I don't know where that shot went. Now, I love the fact that he's ignoring the Yo right now. He's ignoring him to clear that guy. That was a one shot. And yes, he may take a shot from the Yo, but it was worth it because he managed to get out of there. He managed to clear a tank and he managed to get out of there. And now the Yo's there and someone is capping. At least he now knows where both of these tanks are. And of course, the Yo doesn't look like the best of players. He just can't aim and he can't hit his shots. So perfect. No need to run away. Of course, the Object 252U is now coming from behind, so he needs to make the decision who he wants to push. And of course, he is going to push this Yo. He does take a couple of nasty shots from him, but he is going to take him out to bring it now down to a 1 versus 1. But there's still a minute and a half left on the clock, and there is still a lot of hit points. Now, he's a 2-shot to this Object 252U. Now, I like the fact that he's trying to go from distance. He's trying to reset his camo, and he's going to try and come in from a different angle, but time is not on his side. He only just has over a minute left on the clock, and there is still quite a lot of hit points to do to get through, and he's going to want this win. He's on 4 kills, 6.6k damage, which is still a lot for this tank. 6.6k damage, but there's still a lot of hit points to get through. So now he needs to make his move. He needs to either bait a shot or he just needs to rush. And there we go. There's the bait. He now needs to use this time, use this opportunity to get around, get the shots, and just clear this guy up. And with 35 seconds left on the clock, he now has the Object 252 where he wants him. He's just going to side hug him and he's going to reverse. And there's really nothing this Object 252 you can do. Absolutely fantastic game. 600 block damage. He manages to end it with about 20 seconds left on the clock. And he ends on 8,120 damage with 5 kills. Absolutely amazing game. And it's a game you don't often see in an M46 Patton. Because as I said, it's not the best of tanks. It really isn't the best of tanks. But he did it. And look at that carry. Absolutely amazing carry there from Lude. So thank you guys. Thank you for sending those replays in. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll be back tomorrow for some more Hold My Kebab. I'll see you then. Thank you guys. See you soon. Bye.